6:34, we're checking back in now with Mike Apple with the latest with business news. Mike.
Good morning, Tammy. We're watching Canadian cannabis companies today, medical marijuana producers, which could be affected by the implementation and legalization of marijuana next summer, but more competition potentially on the production side of the equation. Globe and Mail reporting this morning, the federal government is going to license up to 208 more cannabis companies. This in anticipation that the demand for legalized weed will be very heavy, and right now there are a number of companies already in the marketplace, but not enough to keep up with the expected demand. Now, these companies won't necessarily be ready for legalized marijuana next summer, but nevertheless, it's going to lead to a competitive marketplace. At least that is the expectation, and could have some implications on Bay Street specifically, because this year, one of the fastest growing and best performing sectors of the market is the new medical marijuana producers. Some of these stocks have doubled in value. So if you get more competitors coming in, what does that mean for the landscape of production and competition? So we'll track that coming up today at the TSX. The U.S. Senate early this morning passed tax reform. They finally got her done, and that followed some last-minute changes to the legislation, the paperwork, just due to some issues within the Senate itself. So now it has to go to a do-over vote in the U.S. House of Congress. But the bottom line to this is the U.S. corporate tax rate is coming down substantially, or will be next year, from about 35% down to 21%. That is going to affect the bottom line for big U.S. companies and small businesses, and personal tax rates are changing as well. And what this has led to is a record rally for Wall Street that has seen the Dow Jones Industrial Average this year surge by more than 25%. It's hit record upon record and is expected to climb substantially today. Right now, looking at a Dow Futures Index pointing to an advance of about 100 points in the early trade this morning. And we'll talk cryptocurrencies briefly right now, because the price for Bitcoin has seen some big price swings just in the past 24 hours, with another competitor to Bitcoin coming onto the market, Bitcoin Cash, launched by Coinbase. And that launch of basically led to Bitcoin swinging 10%. Top to bottom, it was below $17,000 US briefly this morning. Keep in mind, Bitcoin started the week at north of 19,500. So again, the volatility persisting in those new cryptocurrencies. You have to have a good stomach to basically watch some of these prices sometimes. The Canadian dollar, compare and contrast, hasn't done all that much this week, starting today's trade just below 78 cents US. We'll send it back to the studio.
And Mike, on behalf of so many people out there,
yes,
stop mentioning Bitcoin.
Oh, you just can't. You can't take it.
There are so many people, when they hear this, they think, first of all, I wish I had gotten in on it, and then they're thinking, well, I can't afford to get in on it now, and it keeps doing better and better and better.
We talk about the base price for Bitcoin. You know, again, the record $19,500. You can buy fractions of a Bitcoin, 0.00000 added, right? So you can buy just a few dollars if you so choose, but be prepared. It could swing mightily to the upside, or it could go to zero. No one knows.
I should have invested in Microsoft. Should have. We'll be back.
And tulipsand.com.
Thank you very much, Mike.